live analysis, expert discussion.
The board, management, and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 Anniversary Celebration Lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities, and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue: Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time: 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofade 081 063 41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090 454 00744. Signed, Management.
Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Blowout. Atlantic Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, experts' opinion and stakeholders' analysis. Today we'll be looking at these stories. River State, Ignatius Ajuru University of Education Senate Council emphasized need for staffing and facilities. Anambra government slashes salaries of workers. Ondo State, couple operating baby factory jailed 14 years. And in governance, political sense cannot lead politicians to hellfire. And this is coming from Senator Shimulu. Dangote's evil monopoly destroying Nigeria. Adeyanji. And in health, Medical Council suspends 3 doctors over Arthur's son's death. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're going for a commercial break. When I return, I will introduce my guest for today. Welcome back. Joining me today is none other than Mr. Iheanacho King Jr. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Okay. We'll be going into today's details, starting with River State. The need for adequate facilities and staffing for new programs established at Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria, were discussed during the first ever joint meeting between the 13th Governing Council members and Senate on Monday, February 16, 2026, at the Postgraduate Hall. Speaking during the meeting, the chairman of Senate, Professor Ekechukwu Onuchukwu, highlighted the need for improved facilities across the three campuses. He applauded Tertiary Education Trust Fund for supporting and sustaining universities across the country with their intervention policies, noting that universities would have been shut down but for TET Fund. The Vice-Chancellor also encouraged staff to conduct research using TET Fund funds to contribute to the university's growth, citing the OK Onuchukwu Institute for Peace and Conflict Studies building project acts an example. He urged all to start thinking of how to contribute to the system, leaving it better than the method, as the state government alone cannot handle it. Earlier, the 13th Pro-Chancellor and Governing Council Chairman, Right Honorable Chinyere E. Igwe, stressed the need for regular meetings of such nature for cross-fertilization of ideas. He urged all to become agents of change in their various units and called for collaborations to enhance the university's reputation and growth. He also assured the collective efforts would yield dividends. He stressed the importance of teamwork and public-private partnerships to attract facilities and elevate the university. Education, Mr. King, is the backbone of every country. Yes. And then, even though Ignatius Ajuru is a state-owned university, do you agree with the governing board in their take that it takes a private and public partnership for universities of such nature to do well?
Yeah, I honestly do agree with them. I mean, Ignatius Ajuru University of Education is the fastest growing university in this region, South-South, and stating that there is a need for adequate facilities and staffing is actually a through one, because I think this is coming from the point of the NUC approval of some new programs in the university, and with the help of our active Vice-Chancellor, Professor Onuchukwu, we have been able to, have some new, better programs. Like today, we have software engineering in the school. We have information technology. I think there is another one, microbiology, some other new departments. So these new departments, in one way or the other, attract new students. And there is no way that we would have these students and we wouldn't or glamour ask for the need for staffing and facilities. So what they are actually saying is very correct, and the school actually needs a lot of improvement in that particular aspect. Yes, I know that the Vice-Chancellor has done quite well by improving the academic excellence and also the working environment in the school, where we have a lot of calmness in the school, irrespective of naysayers, those who have a lot of inferiority complex.
What do you mean by those who have inferiority complex concerning your schools? I mean, every school has its reputation, and you cannot blame people for having that perception about a school if they've not given out that image. But away from that, let's actually focus on the staffing. We know the importance of having adequate staff in an institution, especially an educational institution like Ignatius Ajuru.
Yes.
So,
having said that, the issue of staffing can be improved by either the state government seeing how they can advance, maybe in recruiting new lecturers and non-academic staff in the school. Then again, there is also need and call for, casual staff or pro bonus. This can also help to, speed up the staff strength of the university. Then talking about facility, we know that the school is growing rapidly in terms of student population. So, and in terms of departmental population, like we have mass communication now, we don't have before, and the mass comm department, they over 200 students. So we in one way or the other, need lecturers or non-academic staff that will fit in these particular areas, and not just lecturers. The students also need that learning environment where they can learn. So the Vice Chancellor calling on Third Fund to also come in, it's a good one. I know he had attracted so many other infrastructural development in the school, but I think that is not enough yet for us. And for him to even have talked about facilities and staffing, that means he has the school at his the back of his mind. So we need facilities, and we also call on individuals who think they can also fall in, alumni and other persons. Sometimes, some years ago, we had Pastor David Ibiome coming to build hostel in the school. That is what we need, and not people going around and saying some things that are not necessary.
If you don't give them anything to say, they won't say it. Let's not start this morning.
No, sorry, don't be offended. Our school, one of the envious place our school has is the postgraduate school. We have the best postgraduate school so far South is concerned. And this is run by the postgraduate dean, Professor Chebozo. So you discover that people get easily angered, or I don't know why they're antagonizing the PG school. Probably because they are unable to...
Do you think it's a political affair? Because it's a state-owned university.
It's not a political...
Is it not supposed to be the responsibility of the states to ensure that all of these things, problems you've pointed out or mentioned, is sorted out, so that it can represent the states very well? I mean, federal schools are federal universities, right? And then state schools are supposed to be the pride of every state. So you think that the state government will want to prioritize state-owned universities in this instance?
I wouldn't say that the state government is not prioritizing the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education. But what I have to say is that the school is in a very good state. Do you understand me? Especially the postgraduate school, I can attest to that. So the school is in a very good state. But the only problem is that, we have individuals who have decided to demarcate this postgraduate school. This is because we run a very fast and swift system in the school. Do you understand? I can remember very well, our former vice chancellor, he said then that he got his doctorate degree in a space of 2 years or 1 year or so. Do you understand? And this is what we emulate. This is what we talk about. In as much as there is an adequate system that encourages research, do you understand? That school is running very well. And we are not ready, the school is not ready to keep any student hostage because of one reason or the other. Unlike our sister institutions or people who are from the sister institutions that are glamoring. You must not keep a student for, let's say, PhD program that is for 3 years. You keep the student for 10 years just to prove that you are very strong in that particular arm of the school. So that is not what we're talking about. So we are graduating students, quality students that are helping to solve societal problem. Take, for example, I'm a graduate of that school, and I have my master's degree in English and Communication Arts. And I can tell you, as a trained teacher, I have been able to devise some means in my own speed, in my own area of specialization. I've been able to devise some means to teach my students, to also educate them in a very easy way. Then again, talking about this solving problem, we have a professor in my department, particularly English department. He's Professor D.N. Ogun. You know, then when we were in school, Professor Ogun developed a model that can help. He's a professor of English pedagogy. So he developed a stylistic model that can help teach students. I mean, even though you don't know how to read and write.
Oh,
yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes, even though you don't know how to read and write, this model can help teach you how to read the text and understand the text.
Okay.
So this is what we are talking about. It's not about coming to TV to be shouting or going to social media to be talking about you're a graduate of this or Ignatius PG school is not running well, Ignatius is doing... No, it's not about it. It's about solving societal and economic problem. Okay. I was speaking with a counterpart from a sister institution. I wouldn't like to mention names. He's a graduate of economics, and I asked him, what economic problem have you been able to solve in your own immediate environment? And he's unable to, provide a tangible answer to that. So these and many more things we'll talk about. The school is doing perfectly well, and I can attest to that. All we just need is the area the Vice Chancellor pointed out, the staffing and facility. And I believe that, having said that, the state government and TED Fund, as he mentioned, would, listen to him.
Definitely. Wishing the university all the best.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to Anambra State. Anambra State government has made good its threats to slash salaries of workers who failed to show up for work on Mondays due to the sit-at-home ordered by a separatist element in the southeast. The state government had in January announced that it will begin a pro-rata payment system with deductions from salaries of civil servants who failed to come to work on Mondays. According to reports, many Anambra civil servants on Tuesday lamented huge deductions from their February salaries after they received bank alerts of their wages. At Jeremy Udoji State Secretariat in Awka, the state capital, some workers lamented that the deductions did not tally with number of Mondays they failed to show up for work. One of the workers who pleaded anonymity said a colleague of his office only received 100 naira payments in February after deductions. 100 naira in payments after deductions. I mean, how much are you being paid, first of all? If it's a month, that means four Mondays, or let's say 3 Mondays in February, right? And then they deducted. How much are you deducting, and why are you going home with 100 naira? That aside, do you think that this approach by the state government is actually a wise approach to ensure that civil servants are doing the job they are being assigned to? Because it's public secrets that when you go to civil organizations like this, most of them would rather tally about than go about their businesses. They don't take their roles very seriously because they know at the end of the month they're still going to receive salaries, as compared to their colleagues working in the private organizations who are being monitored and then regulated. So do you think this approach by the governor is actually a very good one?
Yes, I would applaud the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, for taking this strict measure to ensuring that the workers are put to check. You see, the case of sit-at-home, I think has been resolved. And even the Nnamdi Kalu man, he has given a directive stating that Igbos should go back to work and they should leave, they should forfeit the Monday sit-at-home. One way or the other, I don't know the reason for the sit-at-home or the benefit it has yielded. But that is not the problem. The issue here is that all these issues concerning sit-at-home has been taken care of. So I don't, some workers will take shield or hide under the umbrella of sit-at-home Monday. They won't even go to work from Monday to Friday. Just like you said, the lackadaisical attitude of public workers is very alarming. So when you take this kind of measures, it will put them to check, and they will, many of that person that is paid 100 naira, if you check very well, that person has not been coming to work. if you check very well, if you fact check, you find out that that person has only coming to work. So this is a very good measure. And in fact, I would encourage other state governments to also emulate the Anambra state government, other government parastatals to emulate the Anambra. Anybody who does not work does not deserve any wage. The Bible says so. So it's a very good step.
Okay. And then speaking of the sit at home, yes, Nnamdi Kanu has come out to state that the sit at home is no longer holding, right?
Yes.
It's been cancelled. But this is years in the making. It's years in the making. These people have been conditioned over time, you know, to the doctrine of sit at home, Monday sit at home. So it's become like an everyday part of their lives. Is the approach by the governor a very good one? You know, it's instead of like educating the people that, look, there's no need to fear, you know, sanctions or retribution from these elements because the sit at home is no longer holding. Instead of using like a soft approach, is this not a bit too harsh? Because these are workers at the end of the day, civil servants, and they are looking forward to going home with their salaries and then taking care of their family. They've seen some of their colleagues lose their lives on their way to work, or, you know, even at work due to the Monday sit at home. Like I said, it's years of conditioning. So using this harsh approach, is that not like from frying pan to fire situation?
The issue is that, okay, the government has, you know, made sure that the security, they put up security measures to ensuring the safety of every Anambra citizen, whether you're a staff or not. So if the government has put up these measures, it is left for you as an individual, I mean somebody who is working for the government, to you know, go to work. And if you have any challenge, any security challenge, you file in an official report. You have, if it's let's say schools, you have principals. If it's in a ministry, you have directors. So you report. Do you understand?
Okay.
That would help them, you know, get adequate measure to treat the threatening situation.
Okay.
Not absenting yourself from work. I've said it before. People just hide under the umbrella of so many things and, you know, do so many. They don't come to work. Why won't you come to work? You've been paid for it. Now that your salary has been deducted, you are lamenting. All the while you've not been coming to work, you've not been lamenting. That is Nigerians for you.
He said that as Nigerians for you. Okay, let's move on quickly. National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has secured a 14-year jail term for a couple, Abiodun Ogundeji and Happiness Ogundeji, for operating a baby factory in Ilutiton, Okitupupa local government area of Ondo State. The Lagos Zonal Commander of NAPTEP, Mrs. Comfort Adboko, disclosed this during a press briefing at the agency's headquarters in Ikeja on Tuesday. Adboko said the conviction followed an 11-year trial before a federal high court sitting in Akure, the Ondo State capital. According to her, the case was initially referred to NAPTEP by the Nigerian Immigration Service in January 2014, which led to a detailed investigation. She explained that the preliminary findings revealed that the convicts operated the illegal baby factory at their country home located at number 10 Sarajo Street, Ilutiton. 11 years. It took the judiciary 11 years to be able to convict a couple accused of operating a baby factory. Before we come to the conviction, I want us to look into our judicial processes, especially when it comes to a case like this. I understand that there is a need for, you know, thorough investigations and then the due diligence and process being followed. But 11 years just to, you know, for these kind of cases. I mean, this is why some people lose hope in our judiciary system, because if you do not have the means to follow through, you will give up. If not for maybe NAPTEP following through, or maybe organizations and people being very much interested in these cases, wouldn't the couple have gotten away with these crimes?
This is a very critical matter, and you know, we talk about baby factory making and all that. You know, I'm not a lawyer to be able to know the legal proceedings in this kind of matter.
Yeah.
How be it? I think it's high time the judiciary, you know, or should I say the government, try to see how they can advance court proceedings and, you know, matters in court. You know, just like we have the electoral, any matter that concerns election. So they have stipulated time, a time frame where this matter should be, you know, heard, and, you know, where the judgment should be passed. So if we can come up with something like this in a very serious matters like human trafficking, rape, drug, you understand? If we can come up with something like this, I think it will help, you know, reduce the level of crime in the society. So that aside, the fact that the judgment is served and the person is convicted, it's very, very necessary. Whether it's taking the law is going to take 100 years, let it be that the law takes its course.
Yeah. Now back to the crux, baby making factory. Why do people want to even operate something like this? Sometimes, I don't know if you are aware of how these markets operate. They lure in young girls and then they put them through degrading, inhumane activities just for them to, you know, put to bed or get pregnant. We're on national TV. I don't want to go into details, but I'm just trying to paint a little picture of how the whole process goes through. And then when the babies are born, they sell these babies to families looking for, you know, children and what's not. So basically, like you rightfully pointed out, it involves human trafficking, prostitution. It involves a lot of inhumane. The process itself is illegal, but I'm talking about the process. It's inhumane. It's degrading to a human life just because they want to sell babies. Why do we encourage such a thing in society? Because I'm sure that it was in their home country, so people were aware of this institution, and for them to have gotten away with it for so long, even looking at how long the judicial process also took. What does it say about our policies?
You see, first of all, I'm not aware of. I don't have knowledge about this kind of situation. But you know, in one or two occasions, I think I've heard where they say somebody put to bed and would want to sell the child, you know, kind of throw the child away. I've, you know, seen things like that before. But you know, making baby in that process is illegal.
Yeah.
And everybody who is involved in that illegal process should be arrested, detained, and convicted. That is my own say. But talking about policies, the policies are there already. The law is there already. You know, all we are saying is the full and swift effect of the law. Do you understand me? And most times we think that the government is, I don't know if we refer to government as Aso Rock or who. Today, Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. 4 years ago, it was Buhari. Do you understand me? And the next, by the grace of God, the next 8 years, it won't be Tinubu again. It will be some other, it might be you that is concealing that evil act, that crime that somebody is committing in your environment. And you are blaming the government. So tomorrow you might be the president, the local government chairman, or even the governor. And people will still blame you. So why not take that opportunity to, you know, expose those acts? Call the police. The police is not, they are not everywhere like every citizen. They have where they are stationed. So why not call the attention of the security agency or people or NAPTIP, as the case may be, or call police? That will help. Call. What if it's your sister? What if it's maybe the person that is being carried, just like you said, is your relative? What if you get there and you see somebody that is related to you? How would you feel? So these are human beings and they should be treated like humans. Do you understand me? And many times too, these persons are not forced. They look for money. Many times, yes, they look for money. And I think the reason why people are doing this kind of things, just like
when you say they're looking for money, who are the people you're referring to?
But the people who are making, in fact, everybody
the
who
people operating the baby factory,
yes,
or the kids, or the people involved in the baby making.
I'm not saying that it's exactly how it is. I'm saying that in most scenarios, you will discover that even the kids or the people that are brought there are looking for money. They pay them. Do you understand? Or even they pay their parents. This crime go as far as this. Do you understand? So everybody who is involved should be thoroughly investigated. And one of the ways to help this is to put up security alarms. And individuals who stay in these kind of places, who know about these things, are the ones, they are in the best position to, alert the police and NAPTIP.
All right. Moving on, Senator Adams Oshimole, representing Edo North in the National Assembly, has said that political sinners cannot go to hellfire. Recall that Adams Oshimole, during his short-lived period as a national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, was alleged to have said that any politician that joins APC, his or her sins are forgiven, which he has vehemently denied. Oshimole, speaking at the Edo State APC Congress on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 in Benin City, said, political sin cannot lead anybody to hellfire. The former governor of the state was responding to a call by the newly elected state chairman of the party, Jared Stenebe, who appealed to those he offended to forgive him while serving as acting chairman of the party. He contended that political sins are normal in politics and will not take them to hell. Famous verse of Adams Oshimole. I mean, the man is famous for making statements that would have you, thinking twice about the dynamics of politics in Nigeria. Yeah. But using him as a case study, and then with other political leaders as well, Oktobelo is in trouble because he made a careless statement the other time that if Peter Obi should come to his state, he may not be able to guarantee his safety. Peter Obi went there and then we saw what happened. El Rufai went on national television and then also made some statements that today he is in the courts to answer for. What does that say to our political leaders when it comes to making statements? Sometimes, would you say that they do not think about the weight of their words and how that can shape perception, especially of their followers and the people that look up to them?
First of all, we need to understand that these are humans. They are human beings and they are prone to personal decisions and statements. But, talking about Governor Blowout and Peter Obi's case, we cannot directly accuse him of inciting that level of violence on Peter Obi. It's a very bad act. I mean, we condemn that act, that attack on Peter Obi. But that does not mean, today he's been, people are not bringing up his old video stating that he doesn't guarantee. He didn't say that he's going to attack Peter Obi. He didn't say that. He didn't even say that he's going to do whatever. He just said he's not going to guarantee the safety of Peter Obi. And Peter Obi, a man like him, should know that before you enter a place, you should be security conscious. Apart from the fact that people who do not like you as a politician would want to, be violent about you. Apart from that, you should know that even those who love you would want to crowd you. Do you understand? They want to crowd you. And crowding you would, result to some unsafety acts. Do you understand? So you should, seek the permission of the state government. As a man at that caliber, at that level of national politics, should seek the security of the state government and, be guaranteed that, yes, as you're coming, we are offering you security. So you don't, we don't hear stories
but
about
does he need permission?
No.
Before he can enter into Edo State, a man of obvious stature that has staunch supporters in that place that would want to see him, especially during campaign period.
He has been doing it.
Okay, so would he need the state's permission to enter into Edo State?
No.
Is it not supposed to be an automatic thing that any citizen of Edo State or Nigeria can go anywhere they want to and then their safety is guaranteed? The FCT minister was also there a couple of weeks ago to help him commission some projects.
Yes.
But his safety was also guaranteed. Are you trying to say that the FCT minister does not have enemies, or that he's not loved by people who want to also overcrowd him and what's not?
You see, the rhetorical question is still going to arise because I'm going to ask.
You're asking me?
No, I'm not asking you.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to answer me. What I'm trying to say is that Peter Obi, has said this before. I think 2023 or so, that I think during Benue State, one of those conflicts, he wrote he called the ADC to Benue State governor. Do you understand that he was coming? I think something happened that they didn't accept or something. I don't know. He was one that said so. So what I'm trying to say is that he has every right to go. There's freedom of movement. Do you understand? As a Nigerian, he has every right to go to any place in Nigeria that he wants to go. Do you understand? But I'm talking about Obi as a profile, as a man who has attained some level of political. He was a former governor. Do you understand? And this man we're talking about is not just the normal person. He's a politician, somebody who has supporters. Do you understand? So he should be concerned about his security. Even me that is sitting here today, that is not yet at that level, I am concerned about my security. Do you understand? So he should be concerned about his security. I'm not saying that the attack on him was good. I'm not supporting that. But, coming to places like that, if I'm going to Edo State, the governor of Edo State wouldn't know that I'm there. There is less awareness that somebody like me is in Edo State. But someone like Peter be going to Edo State, it's a breaking news. Do you understand? So he should only seek these measures. If he's coming to River State, you come to, alert the state governor, I'm coming to your state. Because definitely you would want to visit the state house. So at the end of the day, the government will, at least make sure that, this is a personality in the system. Let us protect, just like they did for the FCT minister. So I'm not saying that the Obi was one-sided. No. Or attack on Obi was good, perfect. No. All I'm saying is, security measures should have been considered. That is just me.
All right, so away from the excuses on behalf of these politicians, my main concern is that, like you rightfully pointed out, these are people, high-profile people, people that are able to shape the perception of people. I mean, for you to be able to get into office or to be voted into office, you need to be able to convince the people, right? Talk to them, bring them to you, have them want to have you lead them, right? Which means that you have a certain leverage and power over them. Are these people not supposed to watch their utterances, knowing full well that it shapes public perception and public opinion? For example, yesterday news broke out that somebody has been fingered in the shooting against Obi because he went on X and said, in his own words, we warned him not to come to Edo State. He still came in. So that's why he did what he did. We warned him. Who is the we he's referring to? His governor, right? The governor said, do not come because we can't guarantee your safety, and he still came. So even if the governor may not be directly involved, his followers, his people, the human beings have a way of twisting information.
The person who said this, is he a follower of the governor?
Yes, he did. They said we said. He's according to him, yes, from what we've read so far, according to him, he said we told him, not only governor, but like political party, he also made certain comments. Maybe you should go and then read it. What I'm just trying to say is that these politicians have followership, and some of them are cult-like. They take the words of their leaders. Some of them are cult-like. Their followership is cult-like.
When you mean politicians, Obi is a politician.
I said, yes, I'm talking about politicians. Now, I'm referring to politicians watching what they say because they have followership, and their followership can be cult-like. These are people that heed to every word they say. So if you go on national television or international television and then you make certain utterances, knowing fully well that it can shape your followers' perception, are you not meant to be held accountable should something go wrong?
All right. You see, let me use the case of protests. You see, you find out where people want to protest. You see some persons hiding under the protest to commit crime. These persons are not fighting for the main cause of the protest. They are just there to commit crime, to perpetrate crime. You know, somebody coming out to, say we warned him does not guarantee that he's a follower of the governor. I'm not defending the governor. I'm not even from Edo State. I'm not even here to defend the governor. But what I'm saying is that we cannot conclude that the person who made that statement yesterday, or who was fished out yesterday for making such statement on X, is a follower of the governor. The governor may not even know the person to start with. The governor may not even be aware of that attack coming to happen to Peter Obi.
But I'm not saying he's aware. I'm just saying.
Let's call it fact.
Can we focus on their words and utterances and how
what did the governor say? What did the governor say? What did the governor? You see, that is the issue.
No, away from the governor. Otubelo, I'm talking about I mentioned El Rufai, right? I mentioned El Rufai, and today we're talking about Oshimole's statements. You know, previously he said if you come to APC, your sins will be forgiven. Okay. Today he's saying that political sins will not guarantee you a place in hell.
Actually say that. He said he didn't.
Why do you always doubt the information that comes out concerning these politicians?
I don't.
Did he really say that? Maybe you should go and then do your findings.
Anyways,
maybe you should ask him. You have his number.
He said he didn't say that. But
he said he didn't say that.
Oh, wait, calm down. Talking about your sins being forgiven. When you talk about political sin, what does it mean? Do you understand me? What does Oshomole rather mean by political sin? I'm in party A, you are in party B, and obviously we are not going to agree because we are fighting for the same thing. So there is every tendency that I'm going to offend you. That is political sin. Okay. There's every tendency that you will not be happy with me. Just like as I'm here defending myself. Okay, for example, I'm here defending myself or defending the president of Federal Republic or the FCT minister. Now you are not happy about that. You feel offended about that. Do you understand me? If at the end of the day, you decide that, oh, you have seen something good in the current administration, the administration of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and you are happy with the way the FCT minister is, developing the FCT. You're happy with that, and you want to join me. I don't expect myself to still have that same grudge with you. I will tell you to forgive me. That is political sin, and that is not capable of leading me to hell. Because yes, that is just what not when I mean political sin. He tagged political sin because he didn't say that it's a crime. Maybe he's going to shoot you because you are his enemy or you are fighting. Just like this person, what's his name? The chairman, the APC chairman that was sworn in. You understand? He said that the people that he has offended while he was in that position, that they should forgive him. And Oshomole said they have been forgiven. That when you offend somebody in cause of fighting for something that is sincere, people will definitely get offended. That will not be held accountable for you, that this is the reason why you go to hell. No.
Okay.
You understand? And by the way, the issue of forgiveness is in the hand of God and the person that is, offended, or the person that offended another person. I don't know. So if I get you upset or I sin against you, not even to God, if I sin against you and you are not happy with me, and later on I come to you and you come to me and say sorry. Okay, I say okay, come back to the family, just like the prodigal son. Come back to the family, come back to APC. When you come back, I don't expect myself to still, hold you by your past. No, that is it.
Okay.
So,
all right, so in which case that means that we should not hold these leaders accountable for their words?
no, everybody should be held accountable by their words.
Okay.
I'm just interpreting what Oshomole means by political sin. So if you want to hold him accountable by it, hold him now. Because what he's saying, I'm interpreting what he's saying, that if you must hold the words of Oshomole, what Oshomole meant was that anybody who you have offended in course of governance is not a yardstick for you to go to hell.
Okay.
That is what it means. And so I don't know how else we want to hold him accountable. He didn't say that anybody you shot. No, he didn't make such bad statements.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Human rights activist Deji Adeyanju has accused businessman Aliko Dangote of hatching an evil plan to monopolize Nigeria's petroleum industry and destroy the country. Adeyanju alleged that the Dangote refinery raised the pump price of fuel by more than 100%, attributing the increase to the ongoing conflict in Iran and heightened tensions in the Gulf region. In a statement titled, "Sudden Fuel Price Increments, Dangote Evil Monopoly Destroying Nigeria," Adeyanju questioned the justification for the hike, noting that the refinery sources its crude oil locally within Nigeria. He further pointed out that the federal government had previously approved an arrangement allowing the Nigerian National Petroleum Company to sell crude oil to the Dangote refinery in Naira, a policy aimed at stabilizing supply and insulating local pricing from foreign exchange pressures. According to Adeyanju, the refined petroleum products currently being distributed were processed before the recent escalation of hostilities in the Gulf, raising concerns about why consumers should bear additional costs linked to international developments that did not directly impact existing stock. See, this is a clear case of policies that can go wrong. Why do I say this? I've been privy to follow these this Dangote stories for a while. I feel, first of all, I like to hold our government accountable, right? Sometimes we have to hold our government accountable. We have refineries, state-owned, federal-owned refineries that is not working. Now, Dangote is a businessman, a private business. Yes, the government made sure that private refineries will buy their stock at a local price just to be able to stabilize the Naira. Are we going to fault a businessman for doing business the way he knows best, instead of holding our government accountable for not helping or invest in our refineries? If we had competition, it's going to also bring down the monopoly in the petroleum market. But right now we do not have the sources. It's up to Dangote to dictate how prices should go. Who are we holding responsible here? Is it Dangote or the government?
This question would have actually been directed to Barrister Deji for, saying that the evil monopoly of Dangote is the cause of the fuel hike. We have a system in these petroleum resources and a way that it functions. Now, he's saying that Dangote has monopolized the oil sector. and I cannot actually say it's true or it's false. But we cannot tell a private businessman on how he should run his business. Do you understand? Every Nigerian is praying for fuel reduction. Do you understand? And I believe that the current government is putting up every measure to, ensure that we have a working system in the oil sector.
Yeah.
Yes. So why the government is doing that? Why we allow the government to do that? We should also understand that this person is a private business person, and some of these crises can affect or will affect directly or indirectly the oil market. Do you understand? Especially at the international oil market system. So we cannot just come up to make certain utterances that Dangote hiked the fuel and all that. So if the system or the problem that is happening in fact, the crisis at Middle East is affecting most of those countries that are oil producing. Do you understand? So if this is in one way or the other affecting the Dangote refinery or the oil sector in the country, we cannot question Dangote. Do you understand? Everything has been working very well up until this crisis and all that. And it's not just Nigeria. It's not just affecting Nigeria alone. Just that we like to carry things a lot on our head, especially the bad news. Especially the bad news. Once something goes wrong, we'll try as much as possible to publicize it. But when everything is going right, we don't bother ourselves. So questioning Dangote or saying that Dangote is not doing what is monopolizing the system is something I cannot actually hold on. Do you understand? How is he monopolizing the system? Have you built a refinery and Dangote you should not build? Do you understand me? If another person has the resource to build a refinery, let the person build. If you have, like Dangote. But concerning the government-owned refineries, I believe that the current administration, they are doing their best to ensure that these refineries come to life. Just that we have a lot of saboteurs, people who are ready to sabotage the effort of the government every day. But I thank God for the effort of the president to ensure that everything comes to life.
Okay. Moving on, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria has established a prima facie case of medical negligence and professional misconduct in the death of Master Ikanu Adichie Ezeki, the 21-month-old son of acclaimed author Chiamanda Adichie. The findings follow an investigation initiated after a formal complaint was lodged with the council on January 16, 2026. Medical practitioners from Uracare Multi-Specialist Hospital and Atlantis Pediatric Hospital responded to the complaint, submitting affidavits and presenting oral testimony before the MDCN investigative panel. At the conclusion of its 25th session, held in Abuja on February 17th to 18th, 2026, the panel determined that a prima facie case of medical negligence had been established against the three doctors, Dr. Tosin Majeko Dumi, Medical Director of Uracare, Dr. Titus Ogundari, and Dr. Atinuki Owaje, Chief Medical Director of Atlantis Pediatric Hospital. The council issued interim suspension orders against the three pending the outcome of formal disciplinary proceedings. The panel also found professional misconduct on the part of 10 other practitioners from Atlantis Pediatric Hospital. 21-month-old boy. That's really sad. My heart goes out to Chiamanda. I can't even imagine what she's going through right now. But sometimes, they say God knows best. He uses certain people to be able to save. He used one person to save many. We've actually seen a lot of medical negligence in our healthcare, and then more often than not, these hospitals get away with these outrageous crimes that they commit. But unfortunately, it had to happen to a figure as Chimamanda for some of them to face, the wrath of the law. King, what do you have to say concerning this unfortunate situation?
I mean, it's very unfortunate losing your child at a very tender age. I don't know. The investigation is up by the medical association, and the 3 doctors have been put to investigation, thorough investigation. But why they are being investigated, I think it's high time we looked into the case of medical negligence by our medical professionals. You see a situation where, a very disheartening situation where you go to the hospital, even from the front desk, the attention they give to you, even in an emergency situations, are very bad, very poor. And yet we are complaining every day. Just like we said earlier in this Anambra state government case. If you go now and sack those people, they will state protest. If you go now and reduce their salary, they will state protest. But if you go to the hospital, in fact, just disguise, go to the hospital, and you will see high level of medical negligence that is going on in the hospital. Sometimes you go there, the doctors are not there. Sometimes you go there, they will just give one excuse. The most important thing about the hospital is to save life, no matter the condition. Do you understand? Do your part first. Save lives, no matter the condition. And this is a case of the Nigerian. So the medical association, while they are trying to investigate these doctors, they should also, put up measures as an institution of the government. They should put up measures to cross-check their staff who are involved in some of these nonchalant attitudes. You go to UPTH, you see most of these things, especially the public hospitals. You go there, before they attend to you, just one person will go here. Somebody is dying. So I'm sorry to Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie for the bad incidents. I mean, they say Nigeria can happen to anybody. So I'm sorry it happened to her. It could have been some other person. What if it's somebody that is not notable, as Chimamanda?
Yeah.
That would have been...
Okay,
it must have happened to several other, normal Nigerians that do not have the influence to even call on public attention or government attention or the medical association attention. So many persons must have found themselves in that kind of ugly situation, and it has been going and going on and going. And thank God that this one would put the doctors to check to make sure that they pay adequate attention to. I mean, that hospital is like a private hospital. So imagine it's happening in a private hospital. Just imagine.
Well, how about regulations? You've actually mentioned that the medical council, as an arm of the government, should look into these things. But then again, the government itself, like you've mentioned, some of these federal hospitals and state-owned hospitals usually are prone to negligence of their patients. Sometimes they have what is called cash policy. If you do not have money, no matter your condition, they do not want to attend to you. And most of these hospitals have subsidy from the government.
Yes.
Right? We have insurance that is covering it, but they'll tell you that your insurance cannot cover this, even though you are meant to be insured. So the fact that maybe the insurance company is not doing their bit, the citizen who is, judiciously paying her insurance to his or insurance to ensure that in case of an emergency where she does not have the needed finance, her health will be taken care of. And then these practitioners are, refusing treatment to these patients. What or how can the government intervene to ensure that most of these things is being curbed?
You see, I keep saying it. We mention government. I mean, I believe that once you mention government, the only thing that comes to the normal Nigerian is Tinubu and Wike.
Why is Tinubu and Wike the only people or politicians that have positions or high-profile positions?
You're talking as...
This is something that has been happening for years.
You are talking as a learned person.
Okay.
Let's go out to the market and ask government. Let's say government, ask somebody what comes into your mind. It's Tinubu. Do you understand? Now, I said here that why we have, just like you said, there are subsidies, there are insurance systems, especially for government workers and all that. Now, the Medical Association of Nigeria is a parastatal of the government. They are the government too. I don't know if you understand me. Tinubu or Wike cannot be in FCT and be in UPTH. I don't know if you understand me. So, and you discover that the Medical Association of Nigeria, they have branches in almost all the states. So, they have a way to regulate this system. And the people that are still doing it are still medical doctors. I don't know if you're getting me. So, if they can come up as a government institution, not Tinubu, not Wike, not Oshomole, as a government institution, look out for a way to monitor your staff. Monitor them. Like what is happening in the hospitals. How can a doctor have a patient and you are busy on phone making call? You see a nurse that's supposed to attend to a patient, or maybe a nursing mother or something. You just see them very lackadaisical. Do you understand? So the Medical Association as an arm of the government. When we talk about the government now, this is a government. This is a government. So they should look into this matter. That is my own. They should look into this matter and make sure that these incidences or these situations that we have like this, they are put to check. If you go to universities, the chancellor of the university is not in that university. Do you understand? Like we have in my school. The chancellor, who is the governor, is not in the university. He doesn't come there every day. Month to month, year to year, he doesn't come there. But we have a vice chancellor who puts everything in order for a running system. Do you understand? He makes sure that he regulates when you, in fact, in my school, you don't dress anyhow. That is what a part of the government is doing on behalf of the state government. Do you understand? You don't wait for the state government to release DSS to address indecent dressing in public schools. You don't wait for that. So just as we have in medical, the medical system, the MLA, right? They should look out for measures to put their staff, those who are working for them, to check. Make sure that they come to work. Anybody that's not come to work, you have the capacity to, suspend the person. You make sure that doctors like this, if what's come to work, you're not issuing the license, retrieve your license. Do you understand? Anybody who is not doing what he's supposed to do, that is my own. So that is where you help the government. Let us not keep waiting for where Abuja will come to Calabar to solve Calabar problem. No, let's not wait for where Brick House will go to Eche to solve Eche problem. No, let the people in Eche, the government part in Eche, the councillor in Eche, should be in a ward in Eche should solve a problem there. The chairman in Eche should solve a problem there. He's a part of the government. It must not be the federal government all the time. That is just my own point.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. King. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. Once again, thank you very much for your passionate analysis.
Thank you very much.
We're open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can also connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Open conversation comes up shortly. Please don't go away. Thank you for watching. I am Antonia Asabil.
Morrison Media Group. The board, management, and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 Anniversary Celebration Lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue: Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time: 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofadi 081 063 41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744. Signed, Management. The Board, Management and Staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 Anniversary Celebration Lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategy.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara.